Keeper of the Force into Tempest Ophelia. So already very strong lock pool.
Yeah, I like the fact that Legion's High is banning Rally out here. And I thought the previous game was awkward of them to ban out the Parasite during the normal drafting phase instead of the Master of Arms. I felt like if they banned out Master, not only would they have stopped Insanity's team from getting Master of Arms, they would have stopped them from getting... They had the Master of Arms Rally Ophelia combination. I mean, that is so powerful. So if they had banned out Master of Arms there, Parasite would have been in the pool. If they picked Parasite during the normal drafting pool, they wouldn't have been able to pick Ophelia. And Ophelia and Rally were there, so they would have been
You're
Tempest.
really going back, jeez.
And then you know, and then Ophelia and Rally would have been on Complexity side if they so choose. So, I mean, I just thought it was strange that they were allowed to get that really, really insanely strong combination of heroes.
Yeah,
I thought that was a big oversight. Like the fact that they're at least doing something a little bit different this game, because it didn't work out so much last game.
Well, you look at the lock pool, Parasite into the Flux, Wretched Hag. To finish things off right there. Flux locked up by B-Kid. You know, we talk a lot about this Flux Engineer combination. Now, entering that banning stage, I think it's safe to say, you know, perhaps expect to see that Engineer banned, at the very least, more so on IG side over here. But
Exactly.
Fade is going to be the first ban, and now going to start moving along here. So, yeah, again, the Rally, Master of Arms, Ophelia, just a ridiculous trio of heroes for obvious reasons, and we saw them yet again that first game. Complexity just had so much trouble. They played it very well. I mean, honestly, they even kept in there a lot longer than I and you thought they would, and I'm sure a lot of the community even. It came to a point where it seemed like IG was just going to be able to win the farming game, which they were, and then eventually push through. But Complexity did hold it off. I mean, they definitely put a stand for sure, but obviously it just became too much. They were not able to get over that hump. So.
I was going to say they have a couple options here. I mean, well, not really. I mean, say maybe if they wanted to, they could. I was initially looking at like, well, they don't maybe necessarily have to ban out NG because they have the option of perhaps leaving NG in there, and then if they wanted to grab the Flux NG combination, they'd have to pick it first, and that way if they were picking second, they could grab Flux out of the lock pool themselves. But that just really wouldn't. I'd rather have the Engineer than I would have the Flux without the Engineer. So yeah, I wouldn't really like to see that.
Okay.
So Engineer should have been banned there, and he is actually banned out by Complexity. Complexity has no interest in running it. They just don't want to allow IG to grab it, especially since they're looking at probably picking up that Ophelia. Well, I don't know. Keeper of the Forest, arguably, actually, too. First here. So as not to give up the Keeper Tempest combo.
Sania going to think about this final ban quite a bit. Again, just to reiterate, Fabunco, the brother of Fabelli, of course, currently plays for Team Yeah. Fabunco on the roster for IG going into this event. He was definitely the sixth man for a reason like this. And sure enough, coming up to where he is playing now. So last ban, Pebbles going to be coming out here as the last ban from Insania. There you go. They did leave open Master of Arms, so almost like a...
Well, no, but the Insania did that intentionally here.
Okay.
For a good reason. A, they're not going to get Master of Arms, Ophelia, and Rally. Yeah. And then B, it's not like they're getting Master of Arms, Ophelia without getting punished for it. I mean, the other team is getting a very strong combination on the other side. They'll be getting Keeper Tempest if they want to go for Ophelia. So that was a tactical move that he intentionally left Master of Arms in the pool to try to make that decision a little bit harder on him.
Yeah. It still is a strong picture, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it does look further ahead in a lockpick stage. Yeah, it's it could be a tough decision still.
Master of Arms Keeper is a very powerful combo too, so he decided to disrupt the flow a little bit more and try to bait them into a hole maybe that way, because he feels very, very strongly about Keeper of the Forest Tempest, as do many teams, and we've seen Stay Green really, really crush against it using something like an Ophelia on that two-side War Beast, but haven't really seen other teams bust it out, so that criticism not really being open right now, and yeah.
Back over to IG, you got 15 seconds just about and counting, so using plenty of time here to decide their first couple of picks. Is Insania. We'll see what it does end up being in the end. There you go, Moraxis. Haven't seen Moraxis in a while, seems like. Moraxis and then Torturer on top of that. He did receive changes in the patch. It was a very minor magic armor change, starting magic armor, I believe, from 5 to 4.5, I think it was, but...
that's actually not even a good change. I mean, it's a little bit of a nerf to him, but yeah, either way, not much at all. Just kind of a thematical thing, I think, more than anything.
But yeah, it's still a powerful hero with that said, and I kind of wonder maybe if Fabunco may end up playing that, and perhaps that could be a reason for why they picked him. Maybe Fabunco's just comfortable with Moraxis, and so gonna pick him up here. But he brings some beefy presence, some decent burst damage, of course, with that Matrax. And powerful hero in the end, so great initiator. Pyromancer Magnus going to be the follow-up here for Complexity. Get their Magnus back. There's the Vindicator. Vindicator coming out yet again for IG. We got to see a glimpse of it ourselves on Honcast against Stay Green, obviously in that game one there. Not to its fullest, unfortunately.
I was going to say is definitely going to be picked. I wanted to finish about that, but allows them to grab this Tempest while having that. Tempest Ophelia, very powerful combination. Allows them to have the Tempest with that Vindicator. And also, when they went for this Meraxis, it also has a very tanky presence alongside this Ophelia. The Ophelia ulti combined with the Meraxis ulti, very, very difficult to drop them down. Where they're playing the front man for the team, sort of the bodyguard for the rest of them.
Yeah.
It can be very effective. So, not to mention giant AoE presence from Torture and Meraxis during something like a Tempest Ultimate. So.
Man, I'm excited to see the Vindicator again. Hopefully this time around we definitely get to see it built up a little more again in that game one against State Green. Obviously, some issues happened, and eventually it resulted in the game finishing for IG, where they were running into some issues. So we didn't really get to see, kind of just a clean game come out, to say the least, from Vindicator specifically. So we did have a positive game. Obviously, it looks like Noob G is still reconnecting here in this first game, or excuse me, second game here. Obviously, IG is up 1-0. So we do have Vindicator reconnecting though, and excited also to see how he builds when it comes down to it. But having him, man, for on the side of a Tempest, we always talk about, he can be a decent counter to a Tempest because of that global silence, but having him on the Tempest team, as we even saw in that State Green series, it's also very powerful because you basically silence everyone if you time it correctly. As Tempest goes in, he can't be stopped, other than maybe, I guess, Savage Mace auto attack.
Yeah, so. And allows room for Meraxis to sort of get up there and lay down his Quake into his shield combination as well. So
yeah,
it's a very powerful team combination in general. As soon as Tempest is able to pick up that portal key, we see right here for Bunko, he is playing the Tempest, and I'm looking at the lanes, and going to be more of it in that suicide or solo role.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see here.
Should be seeing something like a Meraxis turret lane, that solo Vindy. Ideally, they want that Vindicator against in a 1v1 matchup, and sending him top, they're more likely to get on taking a look at their lanes. I mean, they are very likely able to run. Yeah, no, just because they have a jungler, they could run an aggressive jungle technically against it in the Ophelia side, and maybe run a dual lane up against this Vindy if they really want to try to make his life hell. Nah. They'd have a solo mag at that point in middle, and then Meraxis would be absolutely destroying it versus that. So
yeah,
you're probably going to see a 1v1 matchup.
Well, already had so much delay, so kind of hope that not too much longer here. But what about Keeper?
I was saying probably going to see Keeper go up against him this game.
Okay.
I don't imagine they'll send Master of Arms to the off lane like that, unless they do want to sending an aggressive lane with a Parasite in the woods, in the aggressive woods. There's no chance of that. But they can't do that. I mean, they have a Parasite against Ophelia. You can always map with that, and Complexity has been known to do it. So
yeah,
looking at it again, I wouldn't be actually that surprised to see something like maybe that Mag Pyro plus Parasite top or something. Or
yeah. Just to clarify, I did have ignore chat on, so the players did confirm with one another if they're ready before that unpause happened. I don't want people to assume that the game was just unpaused without clarification. I did have IC on, so just to make that point, I did take it off right there for now. So, but you do see coming out of the pause, IG as a team, they are going to start making their way towards the bottom lane as we usually see, in Complexity doing the exact same thing, but on the other side. So. Not going to see a level 1 encounter by any means here, at least for these first 30 seconds or so. Maybe once they start moving around and get towards the middle lane, perhaps. But for now, it's just going to be grouping up with one another, getting those ward of sights down. You see the Hellborn team right here, placing the ward of sight at the pole camp. Peter Pan Dam, on the other hand, going to place one at the top rune area as well as the jungle.
Yep. And actually, looking at the item build right away by Parasite, you can tell they are going for that aggressive setup plus the Parasite. And, well, curious to see if they actually just... Yeah, they are going to be... Pyro's here at the top. I mean, she has the option of just starting here at the top lane and then rotating and leaving the Mag Parasite here against the Vindy, or she has the option of just doing the dual lane setup in mid. Well, yeah, in mid, and then just rotating up for a gank eventually. So
yeah,
we'll have to see how they choose to play it. I mean, Magnus can definitely hold out during the early levels, especially until he gets to level 2 that orb, and you might not want to let the Master of Arms suffer too much before then in mid. But yeah, it does seem like Pyro is committed to the top lane.
Vindicator. This is going to be troublesome for him, of course. So you need to make sure to. And again, the cool thing about his W though, the lack of aggro pulls on creep wave. Not to say that's going to help
Doesn't
immensely.
matter. Yeah, when you're
here,
against this many heroes, though, it's like a 1v1 kind of thing.
Yeah. Except for the 1v1 impact, but still a cool part of the ability. See right here. He wanted to be very careful, though. I mean, to say the least. Parasite on top of the Magnus Pyromancer. Not a hero that has really the best escape mechanism. So, Noob G is going to keep his distance. I think that's safe to say when it comes down to it. As far as adjustments to be made, you do see Torture already making his way up here. Insania also coming over with Ophelia. Does have a Minotaur currently taking over, so we'll see if they can maybe make something happen. Of course, needs to be careful with this. Parasite now coming over as well. Oh, he takes over the other Minotaur right in front of him. Gonna throw out the stun on a Torture. Pyromancer coming out with the Dragon Fire. He's gonna do the hero blocking now with Parasite. Out he comes. The leech gonna be applied. A couple more auto attacks. Yes, Bloodlust kill will come out in favor of Complexity. Riser actually getting credit for the kill right there. And gonna start falling back. So good catch coming out from Complexity.
That's exactly what they needed, and that's why it's kind of tough here. Their levels, you got that level 2. If you didn't have that level 2 leech combined with those the marchers, it wouldn't have been able to get that. But yeah, Riser, smart move jumping out of the creep as soon as that happened, had enough move speed just to run him down. So a very impressive start here for Complexity.
Blood Chalice finished right there from Parasite, especially since he went the boots first. Excellent start for Riser here when it comes down to Parasite being in that jungle. So you see after the death, Sender resurrecting and now going to try to protect the bottom rune here, more so just see what the bottom rune is. Doesn't really need to protect it that much, as he's going to be there by himself. It happens to be the Invis rune, and he'll gladly pick that up and go to the middle lane with it. So we'll see if maybe he can set up something with that Invis rune here in the middle lane. As up, no, Insania just kind of running on by. No creeps. He wants to get out of that jungle, though. Top lane, however, we have a big dive coming in from the Minotaur, right on top of Vindicator right there. The Lava Surge going to be just stagger the stuns. Phoenix Wave comes out. There's the Dragon Fire, and Vindicator will fall to BK, getting credit for the kill at the end. Parasite has the tower aggro, but it will eventually fall off him. So another big kill by Complexity at the top lane once again. This time on a Vindicator. Master of Arms also need to be careful. The Invis Torture comes out finally. Chain reactions is going to be dodged by Drop Order right there. Actually, turnaround kill attempt. One more auto attack. Yes, he gets the smackdown kill. Oh, that's gotta hurt for IG right there.
Yeah, I think well played by 12-man. I think Zivy's got to be extremely frustrated because they would have been fine if Tort hit that chain reaction. He would have been able to follow up. He had a Quake Stun ready to go. The only reason he didn't use it is because chain reaction missed. Would have been able to land another axe and more auto attacks during it, so potentially even punishing the Master of Arms there. So he's got to be frustrated. Everything's sort of just going wrong.
Yeah.
And Vindicator, he has nothing he can do in a situation like this, man. He can't use his Orb Walk to harass and actually taking a look. He actually ported to the bottom lane. He wanted to be against Keeper of the Forest. They've been sending Keeper safe lane so much, and having that Parasite just maybe gave more of an indicator as to what they were going to be doing with their lane in the first place.
Yeah, clearly just not going to be happening there for Vindicator. So to the bottom lane he goes. As we see, Keeper of the Forest going to put in some auto attacks. Picking up the Ring of Teacher. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Master of Arms going to be caught out once again. Ophelia also here. Does have support nearby, but not in time. Down goes Master of Arms. But at what cost? Moraxis will end up falling. Going for some more kills. Pyromancer and Torture going at auto attacks. Pyromancer will fall. Torture still on the run. Nice chain reactions from Sender right there. The Leech will be enough to finish him off. Also give the movement speed to Riser. And in the end, he too will be fine. A 2-for-2 exchange here in the middle lane. Man, there was a party. Got some mid-wars action going on there.
Yeah, for a bit, that nuke coming out from Peter before he died was pretty huge. It got them loaded up for Risers actually, and it was like a millisecond before he dropped. So, yeah, nice back and forth, but overall in Complexity's favor. And well, Ophelia, at least out of that, she did hit level 4 and is keeping up a little bit, I guess, with this Parasite's experience per minute. We compare that there. Yeah, she's 70 per minute behind, but at least is level 4 alongside of her a tiny bit. Meanwhile, Noob on the bottom lane, combined with that Torture roam, setting it up, I mean...
Torture brought the dust.
Torture brought the dust, and with that powerful Orb Walk ability between the Master's Incantation and now how buffed at level 2, you can just cast it pretty much non-stop and not really draw a creep aggro. It's on a 0-second cooldown at level 2. On top of the Brain Drain, they were able to drop him down, so...
Yeah. Well played right there from IG, so... We're going to calm things down a little bit, but big picture, Complexity, 1,500 gold lead, 1,200 experience lead, just approaching the 5-minute mark here. Tralfamador with the bottle here in the middle lane on that Master of Arms early on. Just see Magnus actually taking a bit of harassment there, but going to be fine.
The other thing about that lane matchup for the Master of Arms mid when he was 1v2 there is that it was a Moraxis Tort versus a Solo Master who has no escape capabilities, but they need to get really close to you to actually make something happen. So his footsie game is a lot easier in a case like that. Tempest is afraid of dropping here, and it looks like Magnus using that Master's Call is actually able to drop him down.
Oh, geez, Tempest doing his best, man. He's doing a great job right here as Fabunko. Oh, is he actually going to part? Oh, he gets away. Are you kidding me? Wow.
Fabunko.
Oh, man. Fabunko stepping in and making some insane escapes right there. Away from Parasite and Magnus. That, man, 95% and 99.9% of the time that would be a kill.
Yeah.
Somehow got away.
Yeah, nice jukage, and luckily he had a teleport scroll at that time in the game too. A lot of times you don't see Tempest holding onto them like that, so.
Yeah, very true actually. Well, makes the kid away and, you know, just going to casually make his way back to the top lane with that said. So, excellent play again from Fabunko indeed. Torture coming to the bottom lane. He does have the Invis. He also has the Dust, remember, as well as the Ward. Look at the damage on a keeper. That Master's Incantation doing plenty. And Mumiander realizes it quickly. Oh, he might be in some trouble. He does have his root right here. He is going to use it. Will it be enough for the getaway? Nature's Veil going to be applied. It looks like it just barely has a brain drain. Not enough to use the Master's Call that just in case.
Man.
And he will survive. Now, they did bait out a couple of ultimates there, but it does save him in the end.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if Master's Call at the end would have been necessary. He was out of mana for another brain drain, but either way, creating a lot of lane control there. So, not letting the game roll completely into Complexity's favor. There is still resistance being applied between that nice juke from Fabunko and some near-death escape. So,
middle lane again. Master of Farms to start that trial Fedora has had here. 28 and 10 creep farm. Currently farming about 275 gold per minute. On the other hand, Moraxis actually taking a bit of damage right here. Maybe more than fine, but Drop showing his harassment and damage output there. Moraxis still level 6, has that Matrix now. And of course, the first item, Portal Key, is something we see pretty often on him, if not early on. Perhaps Helm of the Black Legion first, but getting that PK on Exhibit playing this Moraxis will be big as always here for IG. Noob G, on the other hand, at the bottom lane. Obviously missing out on another kill opportunity on a Keeper of the Forest, but got the one earlier. And his farm has definitely increased quite a bit. He had troubles at the top lane, understandably, and made the adjustment as a result of that. So has been shown.
Vindicator rotated his bottom lane and had that suffered early start. I guess it wasn't that bad. He only died once before transitioning to bottom mode from that tri lane, but he's up to 250 gold per minute. It has been part of a kill and is overall just very well recovered.
Yeah. Middle lane push, it looks like it's time here for IG. Got a level 5 Ophelia, Tempest level 6 as well. He doesn't have mana for the Elemental Void on his... actually will have enough if he needs it, but that will be just it. Ultralord Cyclone in the background. You see Master Ron's putting in, though. The goo goes down, and it will get IG to fall back for now, so not really able to put it together for a push just yet, it looks like, as Tempest going to make his way back into the jungle here, and Ophelia going to the other jungle, so... Doing some double jungle strats here.
There, yeah.
Taking advantage of, Hero's Zeka jungle. This is a good part of having them even in the laning phase.
He's scouted out here by the Keeper of the Forest and has no invis of her own, but no one can really cut it off, so just going to contest her farm there a bit where possible.
Insania getting most of them, so we'll put it right there by Insania. Again, Noob G just having a good time free farming now, even at the bottom lane. You got Keeper of the Forest. He's still just sitting on this Ophelia. He's waiting for that team support. It looks like Pyromancer is coming over. Only level 4, but if they can coordinate this, I mean, it's not going to happen, though it looks like at least yet. Well, those are just Wild Hunters there, so hopefully they won't really be able to take those over instead of just farm them. But continuing to run around. So with Pyromancer coming here, I'm sure they have TPs as well.
Well, yeah, I always want to note that they do have Ophelia's help. They do have Final Chapter up now on the Vindicator, aka the Global Silence. So protective abilities are up in high form, and I'm going to be curious to see if Complexity gets a little bit cocky, thinking they're not used to this fighting against this kind of strategy, and they go in for kills that easily get punished. Huge turnaround comes out, and well, then comes the hurt.
Oh, well, look at Vindicator. Now, Bork coming in. He is in some trouble right here. Pyromancer coming out. The Dragonfire stun is going to hit. Off the Master's Call going to be applied as well. Magnus, we're going to reach a stun, and the root going to be used. There's the... very late silence.
Worst case scenario. Heal was used on top of the Vindicator ulti. Sure, root was, but it's up about 40 seconds sooner, so they can try to make something happen for sure now.
That's just silly. I mean, I heat of the moment, man, but everything was already used at that point. So even getting the final chapter off, it's It's just such a wasted idea even in the end.
Much in the way of reinforcements coming in.
Tralfman, we're going to be taken out here in the middle in the meantime, but at what cost right here? Parasite coming in with the face suck. Dragonfire, or Phoenix Wave, I should say, is applied, and more access will fall. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 at least, but they did kill the point man in Master of Arms right there. Bottom lane, more action picking up. Torture looking to change this around. Nature's Spell going to be applied to Magnus. He's in tower range, though, of course. Auto attacks for Vindicator, but B-Kid is more than fine, as it's going to sit off to the side, so that fighting will end for now, it looks like.
Yeah, a nice back and forth skirmish. It seems like this game's already a lot more action-packed than the previous set.
Oh, yeah.
Taking a look at top lane, we see Pyromancer, the haste rune actually trying to apply a lot of pressure to this Tempest, but where's the ulti, Pyro? No mana
for it, yeah. He's trying to just do the hero block right here. Nice Fork Lightning coming out. The final auto attack up, bring around the Rosie. It ain't gonna happen. It looked pretty, but Fabunko, I mean, you made a getaway earlier. It's not this time around. So, good attempt from Fabunko there on the Tempest. But yeah, the chase was successful. Nice job with the Fork Lightning from Master of Arms right there. Meanwhile, Parasite actually being gone on. He's trying to live. The defensive Master Skull was already applied. One more axe maybe. Snipe him out.
Oh my God! And
that
actually,
like
even if that hit Breaky, I'm trying to compare the damage. He definitely would have still been alive.
Man, that
6% of the target's max level.
Close though. I don't know.
Actually, no, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he would have been alive.
Okay, would have been close if anything, but it didn't hit in the end, so that's what matters.
Yeah, well, okay.
Damn, that was close. Good guess by Moraxis right there. Tried. Well, but again, Parasite does end up living. He did get the Defensive Master's Call earlier to help keep him alive there. And so it did. Magnus, man. Magnus has 1,600 plus gold saved up currently. He is working on towards a pretty solid portal key here. Top lane. We could have some action brewing here. Both teams kind of setting up, but IG kind of starting to fall back now, so maybe not. Let's see if Tempest overcommits here or not. Doesn't look like it. So Complexity trying to set up a trap. Instead, they're just going to counter push. They do got all 5 up here.
Yeah, no problem there. And taking a look at what's down, not much anymore for the Hellborn side. They do have the Elemental Void final chapter build back up. They're not choosing to fight him head on right here. Just going to go use Ophelia's minions over in mid instead of trying to react to the fight with their split push on. Meanwhile, they do have Vindicator farming up bottom towards more advanced growth while they're spending pretty much, well, I guess they're not 5 top. They have a 4 top Master of Arms, yeah, sits back over here. So
he's not going to go for the reach, though.
Just trying to make something happen. So yeah, both teams in a pretty equal circumstance. A little bit better, actually, for IG since they had Vindicator really hard farming the entire time, whereas Tralf was sort of positioning himself away from the heroes. So.
Yeah, he's trying to set up right there, and the end of the tower does fall. Noob Gia on that Vindicator, speaking of him. He has just, again, been having a good time down here. Another 1,200 gold saved up, so he's got a solid start now. Yeah. Steam Boots, Mystic Vestments, Ring of the Teacher here. We did see him go Gnome's Wisdom, I believe, last game. He was playing the Vindicator, so.
He's using up that item slot and does give him a constant farming tool, so would be surprised to see him goat again in this case. Unless he has any regrets about it that we didn't get to here. It seemed like it was a build that he likes.
Okay, so heading back to base. Oh no, not heading back to base, I should say. He's actually still down here, and he's being joined by his teammates. Somewhat, they're trying to come over. Ophelia finding herself in a pretty bad spot, honestly. Insania's in a lot of trouble right here. Dragonfire's still going to come out the Phoenix Wave. The Blazing Strikes. In comes Arudis. Well, and it guarantees the kill right there. But Bunko on Tempest, he did get caught up to the side with the root as well. Master of Arms chasing, Fork Lightning will land. He throws out the Glacial Blast. He has Torture coming in for support. Dragonfire barely hitting. Chain Reaction is going to be sidestepped, and Tempest will eventually fall. So Complexity making some great team plays here. And again, it looks like they're going to group up and now push the bottom side this time as a result of all that action there.
Yeah, I mean, the early month very much so in Complexity's favor, and looking at their team, they have this final chapter that they haven't really been able to use yet with the Elemental Void. Like, I've yet to see it. It's 14 minutes into the game. They've had it for quite a while. We pointed out earlier on. They're just getting those pickoffs way too fast and forcing fights that Complexity doesn't really, not Complexity, that IG doesn't really feel comfortable taking.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the momentum and the pace of the game that no doubt Complexity was looking for. And they have accomplished it quite a bit. I mean, B-Kid, especially on Magnus, the start that he's had, the portal key, he's going to be level 11 here in the near future as well. So level 2 eruption going to be coming out for him. Just more and more push. Another tower falls. Nothing IG can do to stop that. 7,000 gold lead all of a sudden on top of a 3,700 experience lead already in favor of Complexity. So You see Keeper the Force even going to try to steal some Ancients in the meantime before he falls back right here. Haystern is going to spawn, or it is top. It's spawned at 14 minutes, but still here, and Moraxis will gladly bottle it up. Speaking of portal keys, Moraxis, he's been building up nicely here before that portal key. He's got the Steam Boots, the power supply, the bottle, and also the Mystic Vestments to throw in for.
Yeah, it doesn't matter when you're going for its portal key initiation, though, unless you're in a really good position to get that counter gank off. I mean, Moraxis is tanky enough to where it should buy Vindicator the time if he goes in and gets stunned to land a perfect silence around him. But
Vindicator right now actually out of mana currently, so even if we would need to use his ultimate, couldn't just yet. Again, we all started when we did see him yesterday against State Green. We were kind of bringing up the new third ability, the Glyph of Silence, and it actually puts the totem down, and you can kill it now and everything. But it definitely can help for the positioning. And in general, too, the passive is still there with the increased attack speed, which is really nice. Torturer getting gone on, however. Parasite actually turning around, though, but Moraxis coming in, looking to help finish him off. That's why he was turning around. Matrix Explosion. Oh, one more. Oh, the snipe gonna miss again. That one would have killed him for sure. But Xibe just misses the snipe. He saw the support coming. He got scared, of course. Can't blame him, but Parasite, again, barely lives right there, and another tower kill for Complexity.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a pretty long-range axe at that point, but it didn't even look like he was trying to dodge it. He just kind of just barely whiffed him, unfortunately, so trying to lead it didn't work out. But now we see Parasite with his early Codex, and with an advantage like this, they're all pretty squishy outside of the Moraxis. Yes, they have a heal, but if they're bursting down time, it won't matter.
Speaking of Moraxis, Arctic, a nice Quake Stun right there. Will stop the eruption coming up from Magmus. More ports are coming in, and eventually will get Complexity to fall back, or will it actually? Pyromancer, Magmus, and Keeper the Forest are all still here. Keeper Root is still up. You do have Tempest, Moraxis, and Torture nearby, but Moraxis is completely out of mana. Doesn't have the Matrix, and actually they're going to take advantage of this Complexity. The stun on Tempest right there from Magmus. No follow-up, though. The Glyph, or the ultimate from Vindicator was used, actually. You could see right there. So that did stop a Root follow-up and ultimately helped save Tempest in the end. Ophelia, will she be saved is the question. You see Insanity right here trying to do some juking and jiving. Going to go for the TP. Will Drow spot her in time?
Oh!
Yes, he will. The charge shot comes out. And Insanity, I love you, buddy, but you ain't surviving this one.
Surround around there. Codex actually just seemingly gets the top, but Trelf actually gets the kill, so yeah, just a well-timed last hit there, I guess.
Good old double taunt.
Yeah, the good old double taunt.
Riser's had a hell of a game, man. He's had a hell of a start, 2-0-5.
Yeah, 2-0-5, early Codex Ghost. Well, like I said, it wasn't that insanely early of a Codex Ghost Marchers. It seems like this game has had a lot of action back and forth.
It's pretty early, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, for 8,600 gold, it is early on.
Yes. I mean, on top of that, he's fourth on his team in farm, but he's farming 330 gold per minute. I mean, just to show you just how good hell, look at Pyromancer, 285 GPM for your main support Pyromancer, making Peter Pan damn happy, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, it's
looking good.
We mentioned before he was having a fantastic game on that Pyro, actually sitting on Steam Boots, investments, and power supply this early. So his core build-up going sound. Meanwhile, you look at Torture, Breaky. What does Torture have?
Dust.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Like just, I mean, she does have items, yeah, but no boots, no boot upgrade. Deep in the hole. So yeah, providing enough damage during this elemental void coming out from Tempest and putting yourself into a shitty spot is pretty much the only thing that they can do right now to lose this sort of momentum that they have right now. I mean, yeah, they've got the portal key. They Keeper of the Force is almost level 11 at this point, so an even stronger team set. Maybe, yeah, a really bad jump. You see that well-timed Vindicator ulti sort of screwing up their positioning, and at that point, maybe a huge Tempest hold turn around into a fully charged Moraxis ulti, and Moraxis at this point really does need to hit level 11 to get some more damage out.
You see the Vulture Lord right here, causing some harassment, even helping out with the Ancients a little bit, but Parasite gets a quick pick on a Torture. He's going to try to steal some of these kills with the Vulture Lord. He's also screwing up the pathing of them. That's pretty hilarious, actually, is Ophelia, but in the end, it's not going to be the biggest deal, and Master of Arms will eventually clean those up. So, yeah, the Light Brand, though, on Vindicator, so going the different route from the Gnome's Wisdom here. Again, I'm kind of curious if we see it develop into the Grimoire Power Straight. Or
we actually talked about it yesterday too, though, where we mentioned like, oh, he went Gnome's Wisdom, but I was saying, oh, Light Brand, it's like sort of going to do the same thing for him, but giving him that farming mechanism. Yeah, you lose out on your aura, but you get to where you need to go a little bit quicker. So choosing to go Light Brand instead this game, we'll have to see if he converts it or builds a major tank item first.
Yeah. Another 1,400 plus gold saved up for Vindicators, farming about 316 gold per minute, it looks like. So
Yep.
keep an eye on that and see how that progresses for him. Other than that, I mean, nothing else too noticeable necessarily coming out here. Moraxis does have the portal key. I believe he just purchased it, actually. So that's going to be coming out to him now.
Okay, and well, you look at the timing of that Tempest, and you look at the timing of the Vindicator. That actually is pretty huge. So, what about this? What about Fabunco here? You said Moraxis has got the portal key. What about Fabunco? I mean, he's sitting at Strider's power supply, Ring of the Teacher, and Amulet, but nowhere near it, huh?
Yeah,
or did he just grab it?
260 gold per minute. No, I don't think he grabbed it.
No, I didn't think he grabbed it either. I was trying to take. He's 1 and 2 right now.
Maybe he got a Ring of Sorcery. I take that back.
Or did he?
Look at the courier. Yeah, Kzibe and Fabunco.
Okay, I was going to say they're both at
now.
17 gold, and I was going to say if there's something that can turn it around, it is going to be that double portal key. It makes it a lot easier when you're looking at the timing for that Vindicator ulti. And now it is a level 2 Glyph of Silence, or I should say final chapter coming out, that global silence ability from Vindicator for second duration. Pretty much, it does guarantee the full channel. It does guarantee that full channel.
Yeah. This is a good timing here, and you know that surprise factor is what we always talk about, try to catch Complexity off guard.
What better a surprise factor than the combination of these three ultimates?
Yeah, coming together, and it's still early enough in the game where you do land them together, and it could definitely put a dent in Complexity's plan. So looks like Complexity is ready. Nope, maybe not.
Let's get it on.
Okay. Back, yes,
so we are good. Okay.
All right, so I guarantee that at this point there, this is like going to be their moment to try to change the game. Looking at the warrior, he's going to show himself here. Nope. He's just actually floating around in the woods. He's not going to reveal it to the creep wave just yet. They do want to make a big play. I'm just going to sit here and stack the ancients, and then he does reveal it. So I was figuring it's okay and worth the threat regardless.
Yeah. He's like, I'm Fabunco playing Tempest. Of course I have a portal key. That's not a surprise. It's probably what he said.
Yeah, that's what
Probably what he said. I wish we could tune into the Skype right now.
Well, I was just looking at his 260 gold per minute, though, and comparing to Moraxis.
Yeah, no, it's I was a little surprised to see it, to be honest, but it is 20 minutes, so yeah, I guess it's reasonable. Magnus trying to find an opportunity here. You look at him, he's level 11, he's got his PK, he's going around with the Invis rune. Oh no, he's going to find Noob G. He's going to completely screw things up, and Complexity is nearby. Oh, the dust's going to be used. It did spot him. Final chapter coming out from Vindicator. He ports in, but he can't stun in time. Oh man, final chapter. Saving the day right there for Noob G big time.
Saving the day, but it opened up a window of opportunity again for Complexity because they got that final chapter used. Now they can initiate knowing that that was not going to be coming out. So
it's, if it wasn't for that, though, I mean, this Vindicator could be dead right now. So it's definitely a trade-off.
Definitely probably worth it to save his life, but does still expose a vulnerability here.
Good heads up. I mean, somehow figuring that Magnus was nearby with that Invis, by the way, and got the dust off, so. If it wasn't for that, he would have probably be dead right now. That is the good news for them. So.
Yeah. Meanwhile, not so much good news. They are taking this time where they know that the Vindicator's ulti's on for about the next 110 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, okay, good. Take the remaining outer tower. Not even towers at this point. 21 minutes in. So last outer tower down. Going to make that up to a 10k gold advantage here for Complexity. Utility items began to be picked up here, and they're just trying to backline the creep wave, get it pushed up, and we'll keep the train going.
It doesn't reduce in cooldown either. It's honestly seems like just one of those few abilities that are cooldown based that don't, especially for ultimates, and never reduces. It just stays the static 160. So 160 seconds, even at level 3. Now I will say, being the level 2 final chapter right there, I think that also saved his life because that's a whole second longer. If it wasn't for that, Magnus could have very likely still stunned and actually prevented the port. So again, kind of a good for him that, you know, we did have that level 2 final chapter, obviously. So Codex being leveled up here, by the way.
It is. I mean, he figures that they have the momentum and they're squishy enough. Looking at this Vindicator, Tempest, Tortured that doesn't even have boots yet, man, and in Ophelia, he figures that they're easy pickings. That's all.
Ouch. Well, yeah, he'd be right. I mean, from at least a spectator point of view and what we can see, it seems. Yeah, I agree with that there. Blessed Orb on Vindicator. It looks like he is going straight for that Grimoire. Again, it's not 100% by any means, but with the way he built.
It is. You never build that. I mean,
I believe.
You could get that Light Brand, I guess, and go for it would be pretty silly. So yeah, going for that Grimoire power, for that straight damage presence, it can help his farming out a lot too.
Yeah. Master's Incantation also going to benefit greatly from that. So let's see how that ultimately does affect Noob G. And again, I was definitely hoping for this, like, this kind of a game where we definitely get to see at least the Vindicator start to scale more and more, and it seems like we may get to that point. Not to jinx anything, but
yeah, but right now the pacing of the game is sort of actually leaning away from getting to that point.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. The big picture.
Definitely
Complexity.
Before, I mean, in the Stay Green matchup, we previously saw the Vindicator, right? They actually took a goal lead for a period of time here at the mid-game, if I remember right, or maybe it was, I think, a 4K or 6K goal lead.
Yeah.
After that one fight, so.
Meanwhile,
and guess what he just did?
The final chapter, he did.
Every time they use the final chapter, they have absolutely no way of taking a team fight, so I'm really not sure about that. Like, I get why they're doing it, I get that they're trying to save a teammate, but every time they do that, well, not only is it not doing anything at this point, but yeah, they literally cannot team fight at all without that final chapter.
That's absolute worst case scenario. I mean, nothing came of that ultimate right there from Noob G. So it's, again, it is a case of if he did it a second earlier, maybe Tempest would be alive right now, but yeah, you're right. It's the complexity. It's very wary that they know that cooldown. They know they have a lot of time now to take advantage of not having to worry about that.
Yeah, they're taking way on up. Keeper of the Force, take a look at this courier over here. Delivering the burial, delivering the shrunken head. Now even through the Glyph of Silence, steal the shrunken head on out of that. Keep the disable going. So, you know, Tempest not really close to a shrunken or anything of his own too. So, I'm expecting this pretty much a rollover here in the base. I understand what they're trying to accomplish, but they have to be really, really lax when it comes to watching this Parasite. Parasite Tempest plus Meraxis.
Yeah, complexity going full force right now, again, for good reason. Those items that you were just mentioning, delivered the barrier to the shrunken head. Man, oh man, this is a dangerous, dangerous situation for IG to be in right now. They are lining themselves up, ready to defend. I mean, without the Vindicator ultimate, obviously it does hurt things, but they still have Tempest, they still have more access here. You definitely still make some plays. Vindicator currently not with them.
Look where Parasite's sitting. Well, he was sitting back. Moved on up there. Magnus is sitting back though too, so yeah, it doesn't matter. If he even catches a hole, he's in the ultimate. Try to go right on in with that Magnus. That's why he's sitting on that cliff behind the tree. So essentially free damage to that tower. No real. Look at that. Barrel was used, but everyone's still at full health. Gonna steal their ancients and maybe even move out to. We'll have to see.
Magnus poured a top, but could not deny the tower.
Yeah, true.
It does fall right there. So yeah, no Congo attempts going to be coming out. And actually, it does allow Vindicator to just continue farming some more. He didn't really get disrupted there. I mean, he just continued to farm anyways, and figuring with that ultimate being down, wasn't really going to be able to do too much. And he benefited. I mean, Noob G is up another 1,500 gold here, so Vindicator. He's still a very serious threat here against Complexity, and it is showing. I mean,
we have made the point that now since the patch 2, one major team fight can really, really create a swing going on. So they got the portal keys, and they still haven't managed to do it. You know that, right? They got the portal keys, and they're still having to use it defensively every single time.
Yeah. Still only 4 hero kills in 26 minutes here.
This goes to show you the crummy vision they have, man, the risks that they're taking.
Yeah, they've definitely been on their back foot here. That is all to the credit of Complexity with that said, but IG has most certainly been on that back foot. So Vindicator can actually be ported back to base right there. He'll get back and not buy anything just yet. Still going to sit on that 1,800 plus gold. Never mind, buys the Mighty Blade actually. So very possible that Shrunken Head is going to be in the works now for Vindicator. Makes sense, of course. You do see Power Bands are going to use that Bound Eye, trying to scout any vision around the Conqueror pit. As we can see, though, it doesn't look like there is anything. So Conqueror we go. And IG will now, I mean, they could fight this, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the Vindy ult. They need to get everyone there, though. Meraxis has a PK as well. I mean, they have PKs on all the heroes that they need. Yeah, they don't care, though. They're literally just going to let it go and try to fight them in the base.
Well, again, I don't know if they know. I honestly don't think
they probably don't, actually, because they killed those ones, but still.
It gets to a point where, okay, they haven't been on the map for 30 seconds now. Conqueror, and then this is what happens. That message pops up. So.
Yep. And looks like it's going to be spawning at around the 37-20 mark, just for a mental note. Seeing how that affects the game. Is this letting them take token now and fighting them more in an open field rather than a closed point doesn't really benefit their lineup at all.
Big kill for Complexity. Master of Arms, a token of life now. See the build-up that he has had with that Shrunken Head. I mean, similar, we talked about that before, how this is definitely a battle-style build here for Trough-Midor. Play this Master of Arms. He wants to be able to be involved in these team fights, and it has most certainly helped. He actually purchases a Warhammer right there. So that Shield Breaker now Also going to be coming out the way. Ooh, Fabonko gets caught out. I honestly went away from that the last second. I didn't even realize Fabonko was there.
It's exactly as you think it would be. I mean, they caught out the Tempest with the Keeper route, followed up with a quick Pyromancer combo. Pretty much use both of their ultis, but it doesn't matter. It's what they should be doing. Instead of using their ultis reflexively and defensively, they should be using it to get pickoffs. Same thing with, you know, IG back when they were trying to push and set something else together, but they sort of do their own thing.
Yeah. So into the base we go once again for Complexity. Vindicated this time. He does port back. He is ready to fight. Shotgun not finished just yet, but you know, really how much more can you wait? The tower is dropping some more. It still is a good amount of life though, just under 400 here. And again, it looks like Complexity is still just not going to be able to really push the issue just yet.
They're just going for safe damage. I mean, the lane was ported out all the way. They're like, hey, this is our time to power farm, push it up. Beacon's already sitting at 3,000 gold. He might be looking at something like that Cauldrons again, as we saw during the previous couple of games. It's possible. So, otherwise, something like a Shrunken would do.
Yeah, so that Shrunken Head is definitely going to be had here by Vindicator by the time another fight comes up now. Which again, good news for IG, but Complexity will continue to get further and further ahead. The Shield Breaker going to be coming out for Master of Arms, another 3,000 gold on B-Kid here in the meantime. Hell, Pyromancer. This is, again, your main support Pyromancer. You just see what he's been able to build up.
Yeah, having an absolutely fantastic game. 3-1 and 7. Actually, I think he's the most involved on and kills on their team.
Either side, yeah. Very
either
involved.
side.
10 kills total. 10 of the 14 on their side. Bottom lane Complexity trying to set up a gank, but as you can see, there's really nobody here. So, nothing, it's not going to be successful in the end, but hey, doesn't hurt to try. Torture does have his boots now, by the way. I don't know how long he's had them.
Important to note, though.
It is. It definitely is. Level 16 Vindicator. That's also pretty big.
Well, yeah.
It's another whole second.
Yeah, so just got to keep in mind the fact that Master of Arms has that Shrunken Head, can pop out and stun him whenever he wants, so as long as he's paying attention to that, yeah, it is pretty good.
And he did just finish the Shrunken Head as well. That is being delivered to him right now with the pattern. So, bottom lane Pyromancer, Master of Arms, Keeper of the Forest. They're grouped up here and gonna now send in their mini army.
And trying to scout out for wards here is going to find a ward of Rev, not really a big deal. I'm going to keep the push going. I mean, they literally just keep the enemy crammed back into their base, not letting them really farm anything.
You see Vindicator again. He is at the top side, but is he going to port back here? It looks like he may. He's thinking about it. No, going to continue to push for now. Knowing that if Complexity is not going to fully commit, then he might as well keep farming here. So he's going to try to get them killed as soon as possible, but he is going to fall back now, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him falling back all the way to the base. Yeah, there's the TP coming out. Keep it the Forest. In the front lines here, Master of Arms still token. Yep. Tower will fall though. Double damage Master, that doesn't help. You see he's going to kind of stand on the low ground, so it won't necessarily be doing tons of damage right there. Result of misses, but okay, I feel they just bought a Storm Spirit actually too, so.
Yeah, well, it's just trying to get them to overcommit. Yep, trying to get them to overcommit while they're pushing the base and save the allies. I mean,
ooh! Miraxis, I don't know if he tried to PK there and he just randomly Quake Stun. Maybe it's just
okay. Yeah, probably was maybe trying to get that PK off on 2 right there, but just trying to have a hard time initiating. I don't know, man. They just need to hope. Like looking at if they're able to catch Master of Arms +2 in this ultimate, activate the Vindicator right on afterwards. Yeah. They do have hope for bursting them all down. It does suck though that one of the major AoE heroes are planning on using. Torture here is only level 7 and suffering.
Oh!
And oh my god.
Wow, Torture gets one shot. Vindicator also be a lockdown. Sword Spear coming out right through. Root's going to be used, but Vindicator did not get caught by it. He is going to be ported back, however. So coming back in. Ultimates are still up. It was just the Torture in the end, and I made it lightly, but still, just the Torture in the end. They still got all their ultimates. Melee Racks, however, will fall. And Complexity more than happy with that. So, damn. I mean, Parasite one-shotting Torture. And then
I know, it's completely cutting off any sort of follow. They need everyone up in order to do enough damage in the first place.
Yeah.
And, well, so that's, that was the set of racks, man. I mean, the melee racks is what they came for. I doubt they'll keep pushing up that side. I mean, it'll happen naturally, but you know, from here on out, I expect to see them rotate top and start working on that tower. Given the fact that they took down bottom, it's a more of a distance for them to travel between the top and the bottom lane when they're fending off waves from both sides. So if they're able to break it down entirely, that presents a huge problem. Meanwhile, they're trying to sort of gank this top. Ophelia's leading the way.
Oh, BK knows something's up, though, and it's a quick steam bath, quick portal key. He'll be fine, so good getaway. I mean, again, you look at that. There's no vision there. That's just presence of mind, man. The spider senses, as I said, they were tingling.
Oh, exactly.
And he's like, okay, I'm a little too far up.
Yeah, I mean, the map's black right now for him there, though. He didn't have any vision, so yeah, the spidey sense is like going crazy at that point. Like, don't take the risk, don't take the risk.
Comes back this time as we see. Shield Breaker still level 1 here for Tralfamador. He's level 16 though with that.
I think he just got the couple patterns there. Yep, gonna be level 3 if I'm not mistaken.
Career, yes, level 3. And the Shrunken Head for B-Kid.
Only 40 more seconds here on Token. Maybe I'm trying to set a fight up, but they don't have Pyromancer.
Again, ultimates are still all up for IG. They didn't use anything there at the bottom lane. Torch just got simply picked off right away, and then the melee racks fell shortly after, so it doesn't look like they are going to really push it in, though. It's 20 seconds remaining, so going to just kind of let it wear off here and eventually go back to Kongor once he respawns. I believe in about 37.5 minutes or so. We'll need to wait to that point, but keep the creep waves pushed up, if anything. Keeping IG once again on their toes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting for that potential big play coming out with those ultimates, but even then, they still are going to have to face through another push with them, like, rushing the base right away. Like, oh, you know, Tempest Ultimate's down, or Vindies and vice versa, because they are very, very huge cooldowns.
See the spread right here in the background. You got Ophelia hiding in the woods. Hellflower just finished by Meraxis. Wow, Zippy's been coming along pretty nicely.
306.
Got a Hellflower now. They are pushing in. Again, no token of life, so gonna try to make a move right here. There's the jump out of Keeper of the Forest. Nature's Wrath apply, chain reaction, some more nukes, but the Innkeeper just gonna be tableted away, and he will survive it. Onslaught of damage there, so the tower just slowly dwindling down for Master of Arms.
Still have Elemental Void plus Final Chapter.
Yeah, they still have everything. I mean, the Matrix, the Healing Touch even, so, or Ophelia's Touch. Healing Touch. So, not going to push in just yet again. Complexity more than likely going to wait for that Kongor.
And they have no reason not to. I mean, the game is in their hands at this point, so why take the risk? They are sieging the base, whittling it down, forcing the enemy team back, but for now, yeah, they're doing pretty good. The Shrunken Head, as I mentioned, is on Noob G, so that's one thing that they've got going for them for sure, because there's just overall a lot of magic damage. That did change with the Shield Breaker 3, though, sitting here on 12, sitting for 218 to 224, plus the minus armor from the Acid Bomb, man. No, yeah, they actually do have the Bulwark on Keeper of the Force as well, so yeah, just absolute monstrosity as far as the right-click auto is concerned, too.
Yeah. Magmus, again, he continues to do his thing here on the Swagmus. 345 gold per minute, but overall leading the way is Tralfamador on Master of Arms, 400 GPM, but just as a team, or just about at least, but as a team, it's just a beautiful spread there on the gold per minute chart for complexity. On the other hand, you do have IG, Vindicator also up there on that chart, another 2,100 gold saved up for him, and actually, they're trying to find a chance right here, but
angle they're looking for, but neither team really having the confidence to go in, man. It's just tiptoeing. They know what they're capable of on the Hellborn team.
Kongor is up in less than a minute now, so obviously Complexity just simply positioning themselves to start doing it ASAP. As far as vision goes, there's nothing for the Hellborn team around Kongor. They do have vision over in their jungle and everything, but the Kongor pit is pretty much clean for both sides even, so we'll be blind here.
Yep, there's honestly it's just a waiting game. There's a waiting game. It's less about what we mentioned it before. We were kind of like wishing they could go in while they were talking. They were all grouped up in a perfect spot for you know, a beautiful Tempest ultimate, a fully charged Meraxis, getting that silence off too. Could be huge, but making that actually happen. No, I mean they've got the vision up. They've got the map control. They're not going to be saying they're putting themselves in a stupid spot where the game can get turned around on them. So
you just see Moon sitting here and the rest of the team, okay, there you go. They have the time here, just like us. They are going immediately on Kongor. The double damage Master of Arms, that definitely helps things as well. Look at how quickly Kongor is falling here. Can IG get that opportunity? Do they even know at this point? I mean, it doesn't look like it. They're not even really moving over. You see Ophelia's porting back Tempest even. So.
Yeah, so they know they can do it.
Yeah. There you go. Kongor goes down. Master of Arms will pick up that token of life, and You immediately see on the minimap IG's home. They're just falling back to base. They continue to be at a disadvantage here. We still have not seen these ultimates, man.
I know. In 38 minutes, we have not seen the ulties break. I
mean, again, complexity, they're not.
Well,
really.
I have seen the ulties. I've seen them used in extremely isolated circumstances.
The final chapter, yeah. Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. But, I mean, yeah, the synergy, though, at least those big team fights. It's been it started off with a good amount of action, but it is ending up like the first game where we're having a long stretch here of patience, man. It's what's on the line. It really does go back to that. This is for a trip to DreamHack. Clearly, both these teams are very passionate about wanting to go back to DreamHack. We've seen that in several interviews now, and just understandably, I mean, Complexity playing to force that third game, of course, and right now they are on the verge of doing that. If they can hold on to this very solid lead here against Internet Gangsters. And
yeah, I'd be very hard-pressed to see them not staying this top lane and just sieging until those racks fall at this point. I mean,
there you go, to the top lane, keeping the force with that demonic breastplate now, so hoping to bulk himself up. Barrier auto goes off and into the front lines. Of course, Master of Arms is going to hold his ground at 5.5 minutes on the token. Plenty of time. Maraxis going to jump in.
There by the keeper too, man, getting a little bit out as Maraxis wanted to initiate. So buy himself a little bit more time to build this tower now that Maraxis can't jump on him. And
you see the Master's incantation. I mean, Vindicator, once he starts getting those attacks in, he will start burning through you. Can get pretty ridiculous. So, but tower does fall, denied or not. It's not the biggest deal in the world. It's to the benefit of complexity in the end, of course. They're going to hang around, it looks like, clean up a little bit of the creep. In the middle lane, it is advantageous of IG right now slightly. They may end up getting a tower kill themselves if this does keep up. But, of course, complexity, they really could care less. They're going cutthroat here. They want these melee racks. So, yeah.
They're scouting out for any potential wards being placed. You see Peter activating that Found Eye right there. And back to battle.
Speaking of the wards being placed, look at Insania's ward up here. It's a very crafty ward spot. It has not been spotted yet by Peter Pan Dam. It was just placed, actually, so.
Yeah.
Keeping the vision that they're looking for. Master of Arms pushed up. Nope, not going to jump, though.
Yeah, I mean, totally on the side there. He activated that Bound Eye and just was not able to catch it.
Yep.
So it gives them that little bit of initiation that they're trying to find here with Maraxis and the Tempest.
Oh, jeez.
When's it going to be right?
There's the ride! The Elemental Void and will catch Trios! The final chapter on top of Master Rump's got tablet it out, or he got pushed on something. Able to get away. In comes a counter rush from a beacon and drop him, and we're going to stand his ground with the auto attacks. Root in the background. Maraxis is going to end up falling, and Master of Arms is still well alive. Right now, the Hellboy team more on their back foot. Vindicator falling back. Buyback from Maraxis right there. He jumps back in, and down goes Parasite actually. But the jumping from Magnus, the more auto attacks from Master of Arms. Charge shot on top of that, and Exhibit will fall yet again. Hat trick coming up for Tralfamador, and we're more than likely going to be seeing a game number 3 now. As a result of that, we finally saw it happen.
It's just a matter of time. Yeah, we saw the ulti combo happen. It didn't matter at that point because they were so farmed that they just tore through him anyway, even with that Shrunken Head being picked up. And yeah, that's what they were turtling for, waiting like, okay, we need Shrunken Head on Tempest. We need, that's part of the strength of the combos. You want to try to make it happen sooner. Just as they got dismantled in the early game, their presence to group up and take those fights wasn't really much better. Their pushing power wasn't really that much better going up against a keeper. So they just got overrun, man.
Yeah, they did. They did. It was another case of that build-up time. Both teams know what's on the line here. Going to just really make sure. In this case, it was more so complexity. They just really wanted to make sure they had everything. They played it very patient, very appropriately. And obviously the end result happened as it did. So
yeah, it did.
The team fight synergy, man, it was there for IG. It was a beautiful in theory, but obviously in practice, it definitely is a different story.
Yeah,
and actually
lining
lining it up together.
Maraxis tortured lane. I mean, they were not able to apply nearly enough pressure onto that Master of Arms. Yeah.
So and the ganks at the top lane obviously caused some issues. The early adjustment from IG, they were forced to. So good job by Complexity, putting them on tilt from the beginning, and it seems like that paid off in the end. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fun ride, to say the least. It's been a fun ride, but we will be having a game number 3, Complexity versus IG.